let's go into my craft room. Buddy is my little guardian there, looking after my craft room for me, guarding my craft room for me. So this is a single room in my house. It's the same room that I've been using for the 12 years since we moved here, and it's in my other 2 craft room tours videos, which I will link in the description below this video. So my Raskog's here as we come in, and that is facing the wall, or the long side of it is facing the wall, which is different. That's changed. I've got my gallery wall there, my desk, window, the other part of my gallery wall, my embelly towers and my 12x12 storage cupboards, and my IKEA Raskog unit there. So that's just a quick overview of the room. It's very tidy because I've done a deep cleaning here, and also a little bit of tidying, changing things around, and a little bit of declutter, that kind of thing. So if we start off with the Raskog, it is facing the wall, and like I've said already, it was not before. Before it was facing here, like that, and it had things facing forwards. But because I wanted to put my alpha stickers in here, and they don't all fit in that way, facing forwards or forwards, I decided to do it this way, and it is working for me. So all the alpha stickers that I've got are in here, the thickest ones, and any others that I've got, like the puffies and what have you. And then I've got some stickers in here that are sets, so like collections. So this is Simple Stories Vintage Seas, that's all in there, everything like die cuts and everything. I've got my tile alphas here that I'm still working my way through. I've had them for quite a while now. I've been using them a lot. Doggy themed stickers here, and some movie themed stickers here. And then I've just got my foam pads here, which I did, some of the ones that are open, I did put in some cups on the other side of the room, but I found that I was forgetting about them. I wasn't using them. Just as I was starting to do this tour, I found this in here where it used to live, and it doesn't live anymore. These are the Tim Holtz staples for the tiny attacher. They've now got a new home, but I have got a packet that I didn't know about, so I shall put them in the right place shortly. So then next down here, so the stickers used to be on the other side of the room, like I've said, but I wanted them over here because I wanted everything to be tidy. So I was putting things away, and I thought what I would do was move my clear stamps down to the next shelf, pop those up there, because I've moved my embellishment towers, you'll see in a minute. So that's all my clear and rubber stamp sets are in here. So all the sort of sets, as opposed to individual stamps and the ones that have got the mounted ones. So that's what's in there. And I've also got some a notepad, just a notepad here, and a notepad, and a pen, and Elvis book there. And then on the bottom shelf is my selfie refills for my printer, my funky foam, I'm not sure what you call it, that I do sometimes use for raised elements. This in here is just some wood balls randomly. They shouldn't really be there, but they're for another project that I'm going to be working on. I've just actually knocked some out of the box. That's not scrapbooking, that's another project. They should really be in another drawer. I've got my heat tool there that I never use. I've got my spare adhesives here, and then here I've got my spare refills for the mouse tape, and I've got some marker pens in there that I very rarely use. I've got my watercolours there, and I'm not sure what they are. They're obviously from one of the unit. I think they're from one of the, maybe the embellishment tower. They're like the dividers. I didn't know they were there either, I'd forgotten. So yeah, so that's my Raskog, and yeah, I should probably put those pro markers somewhere so that I remember to use them. Then some spare frames over there for my 12x12 layouts. And if we go up to the desk, so here we've got my small trimmer, which didn't live here before. I think in the last video it was over on the other side of my desk, and I sat it on top of my big trimmer, and I'd sort of put it in the window when I wasn't using it, or when I was using the big trimmer. But before I did this video, and in between this video and the last video, I did have my big trimmer over here actually, and I really liked it over here, but every time I had to use it, I kind of had to sort of move things and what have you. So just when I did my recent tidy up, I thought I would keep this one here because I use this more often than the 12-inch trimmer. I only really use the 12-inch trimmer when I'm cutting down a 12-inch sheet. So for anything else, I can use this trimmer. So I do use this one more, and that's why I've got that here. I've got my little wooden storage here for my self-adhesive tapes, the current ones that I'm using. I've got these little cups here that have got, this is tools in this one, so spatula, brush, woodcutter brush, small scissors, foam tool, embossing tool, pokey tool, and a Ranger mister. And then in this one I've got my fine pens that I use for journaling. This one is the thicker sort of felt tip type pens, and in this one I've got some spare pens that I bought that I've kept them in the bag separate in here so that I don't start using them at the same time as using the others, and then I don't know, you know, and then I'd rather use one up and then start using the new one rather than using them both at the same time. That's what I'm trying to say. And then I've got some white pens here, sort of jelly roll, uniball pens and jelly roll. The white ones are in there. I'm not sure why, they just live there. I've got my basket that I've been using for a long time over here. I really like it over here. I've got my little Elvis tin here that's got my cotton buds and nice little bits of wood pieces for when I use too much glue and I have to, you know, use that to remove excess glue. They're just toothpicks, really. And then in here I've got my main tools that I use. So I've got my scissors, my Chamel scissors here. I've got my T-ruler, my metal ruler, my tape mouse, my tiny attacher. And then here I've just got these little plastic containers that have got those die cut pieces that I use, that I put in here, and I use them as journaling because I'm probably not going to use them as the actual die cut printed image, so I tend to use them on the reverse side for journaling. Very occasionally I'll pop a look in there and find something that I want to use as a die cut, but mostly they're things that I probably won't use or I've had for quite a long time. So then I've got my little sewing drawers here, vintage. I've got my tissues on the top there. I've got this little just a little bowl here that's got my foam for when I poke through layouts using the pokey tool, and I've got the distress tool here. Just pop them in there because they tend to kind of get in the way with the other tools in the basket there. I've got my little basket with my traveller's notebooks there, so that's my donkey traveller's notebook and my random stuff traveller's notebook. And then these are a couple of vintage photos that I've just found when I was going through photos. So I follow on social media, I follow Patrick the pony, Patrick the mini Shetland pony. He's a therapy pony in Devon, and he is from sort of the Cockington area. And I just remembered that I had a family photo from when I was a child in that same area where he lives, and I found it the other day, so I thought I'd just pop that in there. Got a spare flare piece there, and then in here I've got my crocodile. This has changed. This used to have all flare in it, and now I don't have flare, so it's changed completely. It's got my crocodile in its little container with the eyelets in the top drawer, and normally I have that just sitting on my desk, and I must admit I probably forget to use it because it's in there. Same with these wood pieces in here. So this is wood stuff, so it's kind of like a number left over from my birthday, some words, donkey here, some fencing, circles, pegs, or they're actually there for another project, so they're not really scrapbooking supplies. More circles and my little horseshoes. And yeah, I think because they're away in this drawer, I do tend to forget to use them, so I need to address that really. Then in the bottom is just the wood lolly sticks in a little baggie there. So even though I've labelled them, I do still forget to use them. Everything has to be right in front of me, otherwise I do forget to use it. Now I have had this at an angle, like in the corner, and I must admit I do prefer it that way, but it just kind of gets in the way with the edge of my little craft mat here, and it sort of annoys me a little bit. So at the moment I've got it flat to the wall, but yeah, I may change that again because I do prefer it at an angle, and I'm more likely to look at it and see what's in there when it's at an angle. And then at the moment in my gallery wall I've got these photos. That's the doggies, That's me at the theatre seeing Joseph, and that's me at the coast with the doggies. Then this is my window. I've got some photo. That's CJ Donkey. That's a cross stitch that I did. Kingfisher. That's Elvis the donkey. That's Elvis the donkey, and that's Billy Boy the mini Shetland. So my desk has just got my craft mats on here. I've got 2 craft mats that I just sit side by side. This is my main area for working, but I like to have the extra bit there too. And this is where my trimmer is. My 12-inch trimmer and my selfie printer. So previously my selfie printer was on the floor under my desk. But yeah, I've now had it on my desk for quite a long time. But yeah, I think I didn't like it down there, so it's all got a bit dusty and stuff, and I prefer having it to hand really, and it's really worked out well having it here on my desk. This is my little contraption that I use for filming YouTube videos. So this has changed. This embelly tower used to be on the other side of the desk, and that's where the little basket is now. So that's changed a lot. For some reason, I just wanted to tidy things up and have everything on this side, like all my most of my embellies on this side. So I've got the embelly tower, which is the same as before. This is just kind of a mix of random things, like, I mean, there's a teapot in there. There's some little tassels and things in there. This is animal themed, so doggies, foxes, birdies, anything that's animal related goes in that one. This is hearts, stars, stars, hearts, because I've got like an overflow. This is just kind of like, I don't know, British or travel themed, home, that kind of thing. So, and it's also got cameras in. There is fruit in there as well. I can see strawberries in there. So yeah, just kind of like arrows, cameras, anything that's kind of travel or home themed. These are my music themed items, and there's a lot of sequin, confetti sequin type things in there. And this is my florals, my wood pieces that are like banner pieces. Well, I've got bunting or banner pieces, and then I've got those little diamond shaped ones, the tiny little diamond shaped ones that I didn't really know where else to put them. Hexagons, wood, circles, wood, card candy, card candy, card candy, and brads. This is my programme for the Joseph show that I'm seeing at the moment on the island, and this is my paper notepad that I keep here all the time for writing notes and excess stamping and practice stamping and all that kind of thing. This is the other embelly tower, the one that Mum purchased for me. This was here last time as well, but it wasn't in this position, it was in that position there, because here was where I had my clear, well, the stamps that are over on the Rascog now, so my clear and rubber stamp sets were over here. So I've got my writing pens here, so not journaling pens, just ordinary everyday writing pens, paint brushes, nail file, and some makeup. I just keep that there just in case I get like a cut on my hand or something and I just want to cover it over for filming. And in here is my stamp pad and my address stamp there, throwing it around. That's my address stamp, and I think I forgot to show you over here. So this is my glue, everyday fast type glue. This is my little ink pads on the little handle, what we do our inked edges with, and any kind of inking effects on my pages. This is the stays on cleaner that I sometimes use. Oh, and this is where I'm keeping those Tim Holtz tiny attacher refills. So I'll just grab that one and pop that in there. And then this is my, what used to be my jewellery tools, but I do actually use them in scrapbooking. I use them sometimes for removing metal pieces from brads and that kind of thing. So this is the other tower that I've just shown you the top of, apart from I didn't show you these little tiny bowls. So in these little bowls I've got just a few kind of like embellies that I don't really know where else to put them. So sort of just like random kind of bits and bobs. Here I've got like heart and star, tiny planner stamps, musical themed stamps, planner stamps, and a few little confetti musical pieces there. And then here is my sort of planner or stamps. Oh, just lost my donkey themed stamps and things that I tend to use in my traveller's notebook that I just kind of leave in these little, but I leave these things in these little bowls rather than putting them back in the stamp sets that they came from, because I use them quite a lot and I use them in my traveller's notebook, which I work on quite a lot. And then I've just got some photos here of my grandmothers. So that's my paternal grandmother and that's my maternal grandmother, and I just like having those photos there. So this Embelly tower, similar, no, I don't think it is similar to before. I think I've changed it quite a bit actually. So in here I've got some individual rubber stamps in here that are not mounted, and there's some clear ones as well actually. So these are my unmounted individual stamps. Sequins and dots, enamels, glitter domes, wood dots. This is baker's twine. This is baker's twine that's kind of off the roll, so that I've sort of either started to use or there's some embroidery thread in there. And then I've got that jute, adhesive jute that I always forget to use because it's not right in front of my face. Washi tape, and in the back here is my kind of just little housekeeping section. So I've got a thread, I've got some little corners to albums that need to be put back on. I've got little frame hooks, all kinds of things in here. And this little thing here is my nappy pin from when I was a baby. So yeah, just random kind of housekeeping things in there, because there was a gap at the back of there. This is my kind of dye inks and my date stamp. This is my mini alpha wood alphas and my distress inks. Bramble fox pieces in here. Tags and doilies, not very much in there, and those little divider things that I found earlier in the rascal come from here. This is that drawer that stayed the same as before, so cookie cutters, Isle of Wight shaped one that I had made, an Elvis one, pencil sharpener, erasers, and staple staple remover, stamping blocks, and stays on inks and re-inkers. This one's not a stays on re-ink, but they're the only re-inkers that I've got, so they live there. I shut that door. And then over here now is my paper storage, which has always been here for a long time. And I've got my brown wrapping paper that I always keep there, which I use to wrap all gifts with. I wrap all my gifts using brown paper. So here I have got my plain cardstock, white and coloured. That's all my cardstock there. And then here is my pattern paper, which is here. And then here's A4 craft cardstock that I bought for, not just for scrapbooking, for other projects too. And I've said it before, I don't keep a lot of paper. I don't keep a lot of pattern paper or cardstock. I just buy what I like. I don't generally buy collections. I just buy individual sheets of pattern paper that I really like, and I also try and use my stamps and what have you to create my own pattern paper. So that is my stash of pattern paper. That's all I've got at the moment. And in here is my Elvis one that I keep in that bag to stop it from getting damaged. And then here also I keep my stencils and sort of templates. So my large 12-inch templates, and then this is like A4, like with tags, and I've got the smaller ones that go inside that are in here. And then all my stencils are in here. I haven't got many, just all the ones that I've got are in there. So that's my top of my really useful group storage. So I've got a double unit here and a single unit here for my 12 by 12 drawers. And under the desk there is my crop bag, my rag that I use for cleaning up with, and my bag there is for my paper scraps for recycling. This has all changed a little bit, I think, from before. So this is still Christmas stamps in here, all Christmas stamps in there. This is Christmas embellishments in here. This is Christmas papers. This is Christmas projects that may or may not be scrapbooking relating, and they could also be just like gift wrapping and things like that. This is other Christmas related items. So I've got some little pom-poms there that I've made, wrapping paper cards and things like that. And this is also projects that I'm working on that are not scrapbooking related. Generally not scrapbooking related, but I just keep them in there because it's my craft room. And in here we have got this is photos that may or may not be scrapbooked, just random photos that I pop in here, and then those 12-inch kind of Ziploc bags that you get when you purchase papers and they get sent in the post. I keep those in there, and I use those for when I've got when I'm preparing layouts. If I'm not doing it straight away, I'll put them in one of those, stop them from getting all the bits getting lost and what have you. These are my actual mounted rubber stamps in here, or mounted and unmounted. They're not all mounted, some are unmounted. This is my pattern paper scraps. This is my Project Life cards. Still working my way through those. I haven't bought any new ones. These are my plain cardstock scraps, and that needs to go in there really. And then this is my there are sort of bowling themed stickers there that I've had for a very long time. And there's just other things in here like my Buddy Holly money from the theatre show, postcards and things. They just don't really have anywhere else to live. That's why they're in there. And they're too big to go in like the embellishment tower. And I could put the bowling themed ones in my Rascog, but I'm not going bowling anytime soon, so I've not put them in there. And then so that has changed a little bit. So because I've put my clear stamps in the Rascog over here, all the stamps that I used to have on display in my craft room sort of here and in different places, I've actually put away now. They're all in here. Not in here, in here. They're all in here now. So I haven't got any out. I'm keeping it all tidy. I need to just fasten that properly at the back. So yeah, that's changed a little bit. I think the papers used to be nearer to the top before. This is mostly sort of card making here. So this is stamps and card making supplies. This is pictures of the donkeys. And usually what's in here is made cards that I've made, but I don't really make them very often nowadays, so that's kind of empty. This is my blank cards and envelopes. And then in here is my page protectors, 12-inch page protectors and 6x8. And they're the ones that I've got the different sections to them. So 4x6, different sections. And then the ones underneath are the ones that are just 12-inch. So you'd put a 12-inch layout in there as opposed to pocket page, which is what these are for. And then this one here is the other page protectors that I've got that are not We Are Memory Keepers. So the one when I did the House of Scrap, when I was replacing layouts in albums, I would put them in the We Are Memory Keepers page protectors because they're my favourite and I prefer to use them. So these are all the non-We Are Memory Keepers ones that I'm keeping because I'm not going to throw them away. But I'll only use them if I don't have any We Are Memory Keepers ones left. So let's go to my Rascog now. Got my chair here, same chair as before, love it. The little blanket on the floor there is for Buddy. That's Buddy's little bed. He likes to sleep in there sometimes when I'm crafting. So over here we've got a 12. So before I did my tidy up, I've always had this spare 12x12-inch lidded container that is slightly larger than that, but it does fit 12-inch layouts in there. I've always had that kind of somewhere, like lying around. Sometimes I'd keep like layouts to do in there, planned layouts and what have you, but it never fitted in my actual cupboard because there was no space for it. But now it's got a home, and the reason it's here is because that's where I keep my completed layouts in there for when I do my YouTube videos. And on the top of it at the moment I've got my planned layouts, so layouts that I'm planning to do that I've prepped a little bit. So that's there now. And then I've got my little basket here from Chatsworth House with my little plushies, same as before. My little Calf Kidston sewing box there, and I don't think there's anything in those actually. They're just for decoration. Oh yeah, there is. There's What is in there? Oh, I know what's in there. My coin collections. Some of my coin collections are in there. Yeah. I think there's nothing in the drawer, but my coin collections are in there. I'd forgotten about that. My window's pretty much similar to as it was before, with just some of my little ornaments, my favourite ornaments that I like to have on display all the time. And then my IKEA unit. So this has changed a little bit. The main thing that's changed in here is I don't have any of my die cutting supplies in here now. I don't have my Sizzix machine or any of my dies, because I've moved them out of here because I think I'm going to accept that I just don't do die cutting. I'm a punching gal. So I've got them in another room deciding what to do with them. So yeah, oh, and they used to be, my Tim Holtz large dies used to be in my Rascog, and that's another thing that I've moved out of there to fit in my alphas and stamps. So that's the other change. And that's because, like I say, I moved the die cutting supply, so I don't think I'm going to be doing die cutting anymore. This is my punches, so I've got my little baskets here with my punches in, my large Fiskars thick punches, and all the other punches that I've got. Then here is my completed traveller's notebooks. There's a little box, lidded box, that's just fallen on the floor. There's a little lidded box there that's got mini albums in it. I'm just picking that up, sorry. That's got mini albums in it, and then these here are 2 6x8 pocket page albums from when I first started doing Project Life. That's the first 2 albums that I did it in. Another completed traveller's notebook there, and then a 6x8 completed album there. And on this side is my cinch machine there, and in here are the refills for the cinch machine. Here are some of my books that I keep in here, like special books. That is my wedding photo album. So when I sorted out all my photos, I didn't really want to take them out of the wedding photos out of that little album, so I've kept that. Here are my Donkey Sanctuary newsletters, Isle of Wight Donkey Sanctuary newsletters, a photo of Elvis, and some of my Joseph programs and Joseph double album from way back in the 1980s. Keep those there because I like to have nice things in here as well as scrapbooking supplies. So here are all mini albums. We've got book ring ones, we've got post bound, we've got 6x8 D rings, and even handmade albums, and that's a recent one there. So these boxes here are letters and photos. So and these little pieces here, these little baggies here is just kind of like admin, really, nothing to do with scrapbooking or crafting. It's just life admin. And then some newspapers there with things in them, and just things like school certificates and what have you. There's me with David Wilkie, the Olympian. Of course, that was way back in 1981. So yeah, some of those things are just there because I don't really know where else to put them, to be honest. And that's kind of where I keep my sort of like keepsake things. So like letters, and I say like photos. So paper type keepsakes go in this section here. 4 empty albums. Project Life album. The reason I've got that in here is because that year, for my birthday, I did it in the Project Life album, but for each day I did a 12-inch layout, and it's kind of like a deconstructed layout. So it was kind of like sort of pocket page-ish, but without using the pockets, just sticking all the things onto the cardstock. So I was toying with the idea of doing a flip through of that, but I'm not sure if I will. But that's why that's there, not downstairs with my other albums. And this is all my diaries. So I don't keep a diary anymore, a paper diary. But these are all my diaries, and I have to decide whether to keep those or not. This is just a box with things like mini albums in it, some of which you've seen recently, my birthday and Easter albums, and also magazines, a couple of magazines that I've been featured in. I haven't kept all the magazines that I was featured in because I did give some of those away to friends. But they're the ones that I've kept, a couple in there. And then this is just 3 photo albums from a trip to Memphis, or trips to Memphis, that I really need to probably go through and take the photos out, put them into the storage here in the corner there, and then get rid of the albums. So here is my sort of mixed media. I mean, I don't do a lot of mixed media. My watercolours are over on the Rascog. I don't do a lot of mixed media, but what I've got is here, really. I've got my sellotape here, which is more for gift wrapping. Got my Isle of Wight fabric over there that was there last time. I'm supposed to be getting a skirt made with that. I did contact somebody about it, but they went on holiday and then I had my surgery and what have you, and I just haven't got back in touch with the lady, so I need to do that. Some spare notebooks here, and this is sort of birthdays and things in there. So here in my mixed media section, I've got my spray and sparkles, silver and gold, spare sellotape there. In here I've got 2 mists. In here I've got my Heidi Swap colour shines. Here is just the little you know, enamel dots, enamel, what do you call them? Enamel accents. Novo drops is what people use nowadays, isn't it? 3 acrylic paints here. I've got a checkbook there that doesn't get really used anymore. I've got my gesso and my texture paste in there. And then over here, where have we shown you? Have I shown you the middle one? I haven't, have I? I haven't shown you the middle one. I'm not doing this in order, am I? I've got 2 boxes, 2 small boxes at the back there. They've got things like vintage postcards and spare frames here for cross stitches or whatever, anything, just spare frames. And my Christmas snowman cross stitches are in there ready for Christmas to put on display. 2 6x8 albums here, birthday albums that you've seen, flipped through of already quite recently. This is my little Elvis tin, and I keep things in here like very special collectible things in there, like rare postcards, you know, just anything that's kind of collectible that fits in there. And then at the back here I've got some spare traveller's notebooks, and I've got the Elvis the donkey jigsaw in its box. And then this one here is all my Christmas, I think it's all my Christmas mini albums. So there's 2 layers there, goes to the back. There's some 4 at the back, these ones at the front, 2 on the top, most of which, well, some of which you've seen when I've done flip throughs. This was 2016 when I had 2 albums, 2021, 2022 there. And then here's my Christmas organiser that I use, my Kath Kidston Christmas organiser. So yeah, I don't think I did that in order, did I? I got a bit distracted. So punches, albums, cinch machine, books, mini albums, mixed media, just a box of mini albums and magazines, mini albums, photos and letters, blank albums or empty albums, and then my diaries. So yeah, that's my updated craft room tour. If there's anything I forgot to mention, I'll probably pop a little note at the end about things from before, but I don't think so. Yeah, so it's working really well for me. I really like having my big trimmer over there because I don't use it as often, and it's really working for me having my little trimmer there because I use that much more often than the other trimmer. I'm loving having my alphas here. I'm loving having my little stamps here. Possibly don't reach for them as much because they are there, but I'm working on that. Yeah, same with the things in the little boxes over there. I'm working on that as well. Did I show you my gallery wall on this side? There's my gallery wall. That's Elvis the donkey, and that's me with Angie Marchese at the Elvis exhibition in London. I've recorded this video in sort of portrait mode, which I find is the easiest to do, but sometimes when you want to do a close-up of things that are like square like that, or rectangular the other way like that, it's harder to get it in the frame, but I think it's okay. And then I've still got my lovely blind. I cleaned my windows the other day. It's a nice day today, Saturday. I'm thinking of doing a little bit of scrapbooking today. I have got some layouts planned. So yeah, that's my craft room tour once again. Don't think I've missed anything. Show you a little overview again of that. Just walking around. And then everything that's here. There. And then, just outside the door, Buddy's still there. He's awake. Hello, Bud. He's awake. He's watching me. He's keeping an eye on me, aren't you? So once again, thank you for joining me. Thank you for your interest in this video. Stay safe, take care, and I shall see you next time.